guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video. I have 21 recommendations for the 2021 Sephora Vib Spring Savings event. And when I say 21, it's like more than 21, but we're going with 21. So if you guys are interested in some of the products that I personally would recommend for the Sephora Vib sale, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project painting content, or you just like to chit chat about makeup, this is a place for you. And I would love if you would consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's just jump into this video. I feel like I'm gonna need a little energy for this one. Okay. Everything is kind of just strewn about in front of me, so I feel like this is going to be like in no particular order. I will say I will link my like Sephora Vib playlist down below, or Sephora recommendations, whatever the playlist is, that has previous recommendations videos from the past. I really tried to make this video, for the most part, recommendations that I have not discussed or talked about before. Some of them I'm sure I have, but I really tried to include products that I don't talk about in like every Sephora Vib sale recommendations. And I have a good mix, I feel like, between like makeup, skincare, tanning, hair kit, like a good range of products. So let's jump in with this, because this is like the most random of all of them. But this is the Slip Pure Silk Sleep Mask. You guys, this is life-changing. So this is actually my second one of these. I haven't yet taken this part off. I just ordered this because my husband actually stole my other one, and it's leopard print, and he's willing to wear the leopard print to bed. So if that tells you anything about how amazing this is, it's just so incredibly soft. And what I love about this is the band is not so tight that you feel like, you know, sometimes with sleep masks, you feel like your eyes almost get like pulled. So like sometimes I feel like my eyes are like getting dried out at night when I wear a sleep mask. And I will say, it's not like I have to wear a sleep mask every single night, but it certainly does come in handy at times. And this just feels so luxurious, and I truly feel like I am killing it in the self-care game when I wear my silk sleep mask. It's so nice. Like, I did not feel like a sleep mask could ever feel so nice until I tried this. So I had to recommend this one. It is like $50 or $55 for this, so I wouldn't get it unless it was on sale. But if you like sleep masks, you guys, and you have not tried this one, it's so nice. So nice. Also like a really great gifting option. Like if you're looking for like a Mother's Day gift, like this is such a good gifting option as well. So had to recommend that one. I have a couple of eyeshadow palettes to recommend. So up first, I have this one from Artist Couture. This is the Supreme Nudes eyeshadow palette. And if you guys like neutrals, I highly recommend this palette. It is so slim and sleek in packaging, which is something I absolutely love. But also, I just love the shades. I feel like the formula blends so nicely. Really beginner friendly, and it's just a palette that I continue to reach for even though I've already done my review. It's something that I do like to have behind me on my desk at all times, rather than put away like in my closet where I store most of my palettes, just because it's something I really like to reach for on a week-to-week basis. This is something that I take with me, like if I go to my mom's for the weekend, I will take this with me when we can travel again. We do have a vacation. We have a trip planned. A safe trip, but a trip nonetheless, because I need to get out of my state, even if that just means like staying in a house in another state. But I do intend to bring this with, just because I feel like this is an all-encompassing perfect neutral palette, something that I reach for all the time for work. So highly recommend if you like neutral palettes. And then I wanted to recommend Aether Beauty in general as a brand, especially if they're a brand that's been on your radar. The products I've tried from them have all been great. So from my perspective, you really can't go wrong with the brand. I have tried their little quad, and I intend to pick up their other quad during the Sephora Vib sale. I love this. I was just recently like re-watching one of my videos where I was wearing this palette, and I was like, holy smokes, like I love the way that my look turned out with this palette. Every time I've worn this palette to work, I've gotten compliments, and it's not like I get compliments every day on my makeup or the way that my eyes look. but every time I've worn this, I've gotten compliments. This one is the Amartine Mini Crystal Palette. And then also they have, I don't know if this is available on Sephora yet or just the Aether Beauty website, but I have not tried this one yet, but I just was going to pop it out and show you. This is the Amethyst Crystal Palette. I will say, if you are using the shimmer formula with the Aether Beauty, or if you're using the shimmer eyeshadow formula from Aether Beauty, I think it is best applied over a glitter glue if you really want the impact that you're looking for. But over top of glitter glue, you are gonna get like a foiled looking shade. So I can only speak for sure to the quality of the little mini quad, but highly recommend the quad. I believe the quads are $24 or $25. I know that's expensive for a quad, but if you have had your eye on the Aether Beauty eyeshadow formula, I do really recommend it. And then I've also been a big fan of my Aether Beauty blush and highlight palette, my face palette from them. I think this is beautiful. I really love the highlight shade. I love a good pink highlight. I believe this is the lightest of the 3 palettes. I also think the medium palette looks beautiful, like something I would be interested in that I feel like could suit my skin tone needs. I just think the Aether Beauty quality is really good, so I wanted to recommend the brand as a whole for the sale. Another brand as a whole that I really wanted to recommend was Tower 28. So first I have the Tower 28 Daily Rescue Facial Spray. If you guys are struggling with maskne, I just highly recommend this. I have this in my purse at this point, and I will spray this on my face throughout the day, even with makeup on, because this is supposed to have properties in it that help defend against like bacteria and just like, it's basically supposed to be like almost like, I don't want to say a precursor spray to acne, but like it's supposed to defend against acne before you even have acne. And I just highly recommend this. I just recommended this for my sister. She was like, what should I get for the sale? I was like, oh, #1, you should get this. Highly recommend this. Also their lip jellies, you guys know I'm obsessed with. I think I've gone through 3 or 4 lip jellies already this year. And I do intend to pick up a couple of the shades that I've already used up in the future. I don't know that I have a favorite shade. Like, I really like the shade Oat. I really like the shade Coconut, I believe. But I also, like, I love Spicy for the summertime. Also love Fire for the summertime. And then if you want just like a clear gloss, I also recommend Chill. This is not a sticky formula at all, and it's so good. And these are only $14 regular price, which I think is pretty fair. So highly recommend those. And then I've also been a big fan of the bronzer and blushes from Tower 28. So I have my cream bronzer in the shade West Coast, and I really like to layer this over top of a matte bronzer if I want to add a little bit of a sheen or a little bit of a glow to my bronzer, because this is more of a glowy bronzer. So if you're not about the glowy bronze life, this is not going to be the bronzer for you. But if you do like a glowy cheek, I think it's beautiful. And then I also have the Beach Please cream blush in the shade Magic Hour. I'm definitely interested in picking up more blush shades from Tower 28. I don't think I'll pick any up during this sale at this current moment in time, because I have a blush collection that is absolutely out of control. But if you're looking for a very beginner-friendly blush formula, I highly recommend this. I usually just go in with my finger, dab it on my cheek, and then blend it out with a beauty sponge, and it works really well for me. I really like the shade Magic Hour because it is more of a neutral shade. I will say this is a very emollient formula, and it can feel really sticky, but once you blend it out, I do typically like to set with even just like a pretty sheer powder. Be warned, it is a little bit sticky, so if that's not something that interests you, there's that to consider. I don't think it's like horribly sticky where I notice like my hair getting stuck to my cheeks, but it is definitely something to note. So sticking with brand recommendations as a whole, I definitely just wanted to recommend Biossance, the skincare brand. I hate using the word obsessed, but like I have been adoring every single product that I've tried from them. My #1 product would definitely be the Biossance Squalane and Vitamin C Rose Oil. I just noticed such a huge difference in my skin texture, tone, just brightness, just looking more healthy. It's definitely more hydrated when I am using this consistently. I think this is such a beautiful oil, and this is a skincare product that of pretty much every skincare product I've ever tried, I have actually felt like I've noticed the most significant difference when using this product. So I adore that. I also really like their Squalane and Marine Algae Eye Cream. This is very, very hydrating. So if you have really dry under eyes, I highly recommend this. And I feel like you get, like, this is gonna go a long way. It feels so nice on the skin, you guys. I literally can't even, I love using this every morning. And then I also have really been enjoying the Biossance Squalane and Lactic Acid Resurfacing Night Serum. So I have found over the years, I feel like my skin has become more and more sensitive to like glycolic and lactic acids. I used to be a huge fan of the Tarte Knockout Tingling Treatment, and then that just got to be too much for my skin. I do really like the Pharmacy Honeymoon Glow like potion, but sometimes my skin gets really red after that as well. And this is just a more gentle version, in my opinion, of some of those, I don't want to say more harsh products, but harsher for my skin at least. And this does not make my skin tingle. It does not hurt. It does not leave my skin red. I feel like it still makes my skin feel a little bit nourished, but I do notice that my skin is a lot softer and a lot more smooth when I'm consistently using this product. So if you have more sensitive skin and you are not able to use some of the products that I just listed off, I would recommend trying this out. In general, I just think Biossance as a brand is an amazing skincare brand and definitely one worth checking out. This is not the exact product I'm recommending, but I do like to just show things. But the Moroccan Oil Hair Treatment, like chef's kiss, 10 out of 10, my favorite hair oil. So if you're looking for a good hair oil, smells phenomenal in my opinion. I will be picking up another one during the VIV sale. It's my favorite hair oil I've tried. I also really enjoy the Way hair oil, but the Moroccan oil is by far my favorite. I've gone through multiple jars of it, and it's one that, even though I love to test new products, and still I'm sure I'll always have like another hair oil on the side that I'm testing, I just always want to have the Moroccan hair oil treatment in my collection because I'm just such a huge fan of it and highly recommend. Let's talk about Supergoop. So these are 2 sunscreens from Supergoop, and I really enjoy both of them. And one of them I feel like is more suited to dry skin, and one of them more suited to someone who's looking for a more mattifying finish, so potentially someone with more oily skin. So the Unseen sunscreen almost feels like a smoothing primer, and I actually really enjoy this on days that I want us just to wear sunscreen, but I also want my skin to be more smoothed out. So I have this little trial size. I will finish this up probably pretty quickly, and I'm very interested in picking this up in a full size. And then I also have the Glow Screen. I gotta make sure this doesn't expire this year. Oh, I should be good. I should be good till 2022. The Glow Screen I love. Now this is very glowy, so if you do not like to glow, this is probably not going to be your jam. But if you like a glowy finish to the skin, I really enjoy this. I also enjoy mixing this with my tinted moisturizers to give them more of a glow, or sometimes even like my Too Faced Born This Way foundation, I'll mix this with that to just give it a little bit more of a glow and to thin it out a little bit, and I love the finish of that. So if you like a glowy facial sunscreen, definitely recommend checking this out. Supergoop as a brand is one that I'm very interested in everything that they come out with. I have a couple other products from them saved in my cart right now that I really want to pick up during the VIB sale. So if you guys have any other recommendations from Supergoop, let me know, but these 2 I have really been enjoying. Another product I have to recommend that I've touched on briefly in a couple of my like recent videos is the Skinfix Eczema Plus Hand Repair Cream. This was an Allure Best of Beauty winner in 2015 and 2017. You guys, with the amount of times that I wash my hands and use hand sanitizer in a day, my hands, first of all, they're aging very rapidly, I feel like, but they are dry and cracked and in pain all of the time. And there's been times where I put on like the Lubriderm, like a very intense hand cream, and like I want to cry. My hands sting so badly. So I picked this up during the or one time when I was in store in Sephora. I was waiting in line at the Stanchions of Death, where like they have all the little cute minis, and you're like, no, like just look down until you get to the register. Like, no, like I don't need any of this. And then I saw this and I was like, okay, a hand cream at this point in my life I can justify it. So I purchased this, I believe it was $18. This is one of the most nourishing hand creams I've ever felt on my hands. My hands, within one use, feel better. And there is no stinging and no pain with this. Like, this is, like, if you're gonna get anything, get this during the sale, because this is just a miracle worker for dry hands. Another makeup product I wanted to recommend, so I don't necessarily know that I would recommend picking this up during the Sephora Vib sale, because I feel like at some point you can get this probably for cheaper than like the 10, 15, or 20% off. But I'm just going to toss this in here in case it's something you've been considering. It's the Urban Decay Lash Freak. So I just have mine in the trial or the like deluxe size. I will say I do not think that this mascara is going to be for everyone, and there are days that I use this mascara and I struggle with it, and there are other days I use this mascara and I absolutely love the effects that it gives. In terms of getting like the blackest black lashes you could imagine, this is amazing. The only problem I have with this is sometimes if I don't wipe the wand off correctly, my lashes can get clumped together, and then I really struggle to get them to separate, even when using like the part of the wand that would separate them. And because I'm someone who likes to cocktail her mascaras and use multiple mascaras at a time, this is one I've struggled to find the best like partner mascara to it. But I also have noticed there have been times that I've used this that it actually feels like it looks like I have false lashes. So I, again, don't think that this mascara will be for everyone, and it definitely takes patience and it definitely takes a little bit more time in application. But this is something that I think I will actually continue to potentially repurchase when I'm not on a mascara no-buy, and will always be looking for like offers where I could potentially get this for like a point perk or whatever it might be, because I have enjoyed the Lash Freak and did want to recommend that. You guys also know my journey with self-tan, and you guys know Isle of Paradise is probably my personal favorite self-tanning brand. So the product that I have gone through probably 5 or 6 bottles of is the Isle of Paradise Dark Self-Tanning Water. Now they do also have a medium and a light. I always like to go with dark because I just want to be the bronzest that I can, and this is the one I've really been enjoying. I just ordered a different tanning mousse that I want to give a try to, but eventually I'm sure I'll circle back to the Isle of Paradise. And then they recently sent me their self-tanning butter, which is now available at Sephora, and I have really enjoyed this as well. This is really nice for the like 3 or 4 days after my initial self-tan to really just add a little bit more of a gradual tan, but mostly just to like maintain the tan and also help with it not wearing away as quickly or potentially looking a little bit streaky or splotchy as it wears away. I feel like I'm not a good ambassador for this because I'm always like, oh, I'm like 80 shades. But I really have been enjoying this. It's really nice and moisturizing, and this is a really nice product because it gives me incentive to put a lotion on. Sometimes I'm really bad at just putting lotion on, and it gives me incentive to put a lotion on because I know it's adding bronziness to my skin. So Isle of Paradise I really enjoy. I believe it's the sister brand to the Tan Luxe water. So if you want a tanning water but at like half the cost, I recommend checking out the Isle of Paradise one. The Charlotte Tilbury wands. I feel like these are really polarizing. It's really hit or miss on whether or not you love these or hate these. I am someone who falls into the category of I really love these. I know you don't get a lot of product in them, but I still feel like these last me a really good amount of time. I have the Peachgasm Beauty Light Wand, which is right here behind me. And I feel like I've been working on this for a really long time. I'm down to about there. I've worked on this in multiple projects with the expectation that I would fly through this, and I have not. I know a lot of people don't love the applicator. I personally don't mind the applicator, and I'm actually a huge fan of these, especially, again, if you are a beginner to cream and liquid products. I feel like these are really beginner friendly. There is a little bit of a learning curve to figuring out like how much force to use in getting the product out the first time around, because sometimes I've used a little bit too much of a squeeze and too much product has come out and it's very messy. But once you kind of figure that out, I think I actually really like the applicators. So I have 2 of the like blush wands. I have Peachgasm and I have Pinkgasm. Then I also have the contour wand and one of the highlighter wands in the shade Pillow Talk. I'm interested in, I think it's Spotlight, which I believe, I can't remember if that's more champagne or more pink tone, but I'm very interested in picking that one up. Clearly I'm a fan of the wands. If you've been eyeing, I would recommend. The one foundation I'm going to recommend, I know I've talked about this a lot on my channel, but I'm a huge fan of this one. It's the Giorgio Armani Neo Nude True to Skin Natural Glow Foundation. I really like this because it's a nice skin-like finish. It's not too high coverage. I really like a more medium, even like light to medium coverage foundation. And I feel like this just falls right at that medium coverage point that looks like your skin, but it still adds this healthy glow to your skin as well that I think is just beautiful. So this is one of my current favorite foundations and I would recommend checking that one out. The Melt Digital Dust Duos. So I didn't think I was a fan of this, but the more I've used it, the more I've loved this. And I wouldn't necessarily say this is going to be a product for everyone, but if you have had your eye on one of these, I just wanted to come on here and say I do recommend it. I have really enjoyed using this shade in combination with like a very champagne, like a very sheer champagne highlight. I mix the two to create like my perfect highlighter. And then this is really beautiful in the winter time. I was liking to pair this over Hourglass Mood Exposure just to give it a little bit more color. Now, if you don't like a glowy cheek and you like all matte products on your cheek, this is absolutely going to be a product I would recommend staying away from. But if you're looking for like a beautiful just sheen blush or sheeny blush, I think it's gorgeous. I have mine in the shade Raw Honey, and I'm really interested in picking up the one that has like the peachy shade in it. I didn't think I liked this at first, but I have really come to love this. So I wanted to recommend this one. And then also the Patrick Ta blush duos I'm a huge fan of. So these are the ones that come with both the cream and the powder. I have mine in the shade Do We Know Her as well as She's So LA. And I just think that these are beautiful. This is one I have been using a lot lately, but this is one I will get so much use out of in the summertime. And Patrick Ta actually recommends placing the powder down first and then putting the cream over top, which I've really been enjoying because it gives, if you put the powder over top the cream, it takes away from the like glow or the sheen of the cream. But if you put the cream over top, you still get that beautiful sheen that you get from a cream product or a cream blush. So I've been a huge fan of these. I've been tempted to pick up more of these, but like again, my blush collection's out of control. But I do recommend these if you are looking for a product like that or if you've been thinking about it. And then speaking of duos, I also wanted to recommend the Natasha Denona Love Cheek Duo. This is going to be so pretty for the spring and summertime. So it comes with a cream blush. I will say there is no protective layer over the cream blush, which I know has been a big gripe of some people, and I totally get that. I haven't had any issues with my products mixing, but I do fear that this is going to dry out quicker than it normally would because it doesn't have that protective layer. So this is what the blush looks like, and obviously you can sheer it out to be more sheer or you can build it up to be a more intense pigment, but I think it's so stunning. And then the highlight, you guys know I love pink highlights, so the highlight is like right up my alley. It's this beautiful pink highlight with like a gold shift running through it, and I just think it is so stunning. So if you've had your eye on this, definitely recommend picking this up during the sale when you can get it on sale. Also, the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops. I've been a huge fan of these. I like to use this on days where I incorporate this into my skincare routine, but sometimes I also will place this on top of my highlighter, like my powder highlight, to make it look more like my skin. Look, if I'm noticing it looks like a stripe of powder on my cheek, I'll dab a little bit of this, like I'll do a pump about that, I don't know if you can see, about that size onto my hand, and then I'll take my ring finger and just dab it out, and then just like dab it onto my cheeks. That has like my blush on it, so I'm not going to do it right now. But then I'll dab it over top my highlight on my cheeks and then go over it with a beauty sponge. And I find that it just helps to make my highlight look a little bit more natural and a little bit more skin-like. And I just love the effect. if you've had your eye on the Glossier, what is it? The Glossier Future Dew. If you've had your eye on this I feel like most people will like more. This is definitely more lightweight and a little bit less artificial looking in my opinion. Sometimes this can just be a little bit too glowy, and I just feel like a lot of people would like this better. So I really, Glow Recipe as a brand is a brand that I just recommend. I like pretty much every product I've tried from them, but this is one of my favorites. For moisturizers, I just have to recommend the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream if you have dry skin or even normal skin. It's a luxury product, I get it, but this is something I love to smell it. I always want to have in my skincare routine. I usually only use this like 2 to 3 times a week because I don't want to go through it so quickly that I'm always having to replace this. But on days that I'm feeling extra dry, I wear this, or I put this on right before bed, and I just find that my skin feels so much more plump and hydrated and soft in the morning. So if you have dry skin, the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream is probably the most moisturizing moisturizer that I have come across in all of my years of testing products. And it works really well for me and my dry skin. I have 3 more makeup products and 1 fragrance product. So let's do the fragrance. This I'm obsessed with. So I have been looking for a good spring summer fragrance. I am someone who usually likes a deeper scent, so it's really hard sometimes to find a good springtime scent. But this one from Jo Malone and Wood Sage and Sea Salt. Oh my gosh, I love this scent. I am terrible at describing scents, but I love this. Excuse me. It smells like clean, but at the same time there's just like a hint of masculinity to it, and I love a good masculine scent. So like, and it's not like fruity or floral or too sweet. I cannot do floral or sweet. It just smells clean with like a hint of masculinity. I think it has wood sage. I almost want to say there's like a hint of lavender to it, but like it's just so good. Like it's so good. So I had to recommend that. I don't really know what else to say about that. For a cream bronzer, this is disgusting. There's a brush here in this. For a cream bronzer, I had to recommend the Tarte Sea Breezy Bronzer. I did not expect to love this as much as I do. This is so beautiful because it's really just the perfect neutral shade for me and my skin tone. Sometimes I find that a lot of cream bronzers I feel like are just way too warm, or you're getting like a contour shade. This is just right in the middle. I think it's such a nice shade. It's super creamy. It blends really easy. I think again, if you're a beginner, you will have a very easy time with this. Usually I go in with my e.l.f. airbrush and I just like blend this out all over my face, and it works really well. I bought mine in the mini and I use this all the time, and I haven't hit pan on this. Like I still have so much product of this left. So if this is something you're considering, I would recommend just picking it up in the mini, seeing if it's something you like. When I finish this, I will purchase this probably in the mini again, honestly, just because it's taken me a little bit longer to get through, and I don't want to buy the full size and then have it go to waste. But this is definitely something I will repurchase because I just really enjoy the shade on that. For a powder bronzer, I could not mention the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. I just adore this bronzer. It's so easy to work with. It's very buildable. It's so soft to the touch. It's so finely milled. It's so good. The best powder bronzer on the market, in my opinion. I love this. Had to recommend. And then for my 21st and final product, even though I know some of these have been, like I'm sharing a brand with multiple products, so it's been more than 21 products, but the Bobbi Brown Pink Glow Highlight. And I know I've mentioned this before as a favorite product, but I love this. And I thought this was limited edition to a couple of holidays ago, but you can purchase this in a full size. I currently can see, like I have pan on this. I can see the waffle pan in mine. I don't know if you'll be able to tell on camera. It's always hard to see the waffle pan. It's so much less satisfying to pan like a baked product like this, because sometimes you're like, okay, like can I just see the imprint coming through, or have I hit pan? But this is like literally my perfect highlight shade. And now that Becca's going out of business and I won't be able to get Becca Rose Quartz anymore, which is another one of my favorite pink tone highlights, I'm like, okay, this is it, sis. Like, I definitely am going to have to repurchase this in the full size when I finish this. If you like pink tone highlights, you gotta check this out. I think they do still sell a mini as well for $25. I've had this now for at least 2 years, and I use this so often, you guys. Like, I remember there was a month in like November or December where like this was literally all I reached for, and I still have so much product left. So if you're considering this, again, this is something I would recommend just purchasing in the mini. But again, if like this is your type of highlight shade, it's so beautiful. Definitely recommend that. Woo! But after that, I'm out of breath. I need a little bit more energy. That is gonna wrap it up for the 21 products I would recommend for the 2021 Sephora Vib sales spring savings event. I would love to know. No, I forgot one more product, you guys. It's so dirty, I'm embarrassed. I have a brush to recommend. Oh my gosh, it's so dirty. Okay, you cannot judge this. I will be cleaning this. The Rare Beauty concealer brush. I don't even want to show how my brush looks. I've been using this and haven't cleaned it in a little bit, but it comes to like an angled point. Again, please don't judge how dirty this is. I feel like all of you are like barfing right now. This is amazing. I didn't realize what I was missing in concealer brushes until I purchased this. It's so easy to blend your concealer out. Granted, I usually still go over my concealer after I blend it out with this brush with a beauty sponge just to like perfect it, but I am obsessed. Like, I feel like I cannot do my concealer without this brush. Again, it's the Rare Beauty concealer brush, and it only retails for $16, which I feel like is a really good price. So I wanted to recommend a tool for the Sephora Vib sale as well. But that is actually going to wrap it up for today's recommendations video. I would love to know, what do you guys plan to pick up during the Sephora Vib sale? I do currently have a shop with me up in case you have not caught that video. Please go watch it. Please go help me out. Help me figure out what I need in my cart and what I don't, because my cart is out of control and I'm still not 100% sure what I'm actually getting versus what I'm not. But thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch today's video. I hope that this was helpful. I cannot wait to hear what you guys actually purchased during the sale, or maybe you're skipping the sale. I wish I had that willpower to skip the sale, but I am so excited to buy some new stuff. So anyway, thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye.